واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا كريم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first of all we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We always start our gatherings by praising Allah, to put barakah in the gathering, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in knowledge that will benefit us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from knowledge that will not benefit us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a cause or reason to guide others. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance, and we ask Him for us to be a cause for others to be guided. Now the point of learning beneficial knowledge is a very important point before we start the class. Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says in the famous hadith, which is narrated by Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, that verily our actions are based upon our intention. وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَىٰ, and every person will get what he intended in his heart. So the intention, the source of the intention, it comes from the heart before it comes on the limbs. So what we do as actions to please Allah, what we do to strive to please Allah on our body parts, is only secondary after the intention is made in our hearts. And we need to purify the intention that we are doing it, whatever we are doing, ibadah, learning, right? We need to purify the intention that it is purely only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that is a prerequisite for the action to be accepted. If there's any traces of shirk in our heart, or any traces of, for example, riya, or the intention is not purely only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we fear that action that we do will not be accepted by Allah, even if it's a good action. Because we know from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that on the day of judgment, the first people that will be thrown into the hellfire, can you imagine? Will be those who, the three that I mentioned in the hadith, the one who has memorized the Quran, the hafiz of the Quran, and the one who is an alim, and the one who spends, or the one who fights in jihad fi sabilillah, right? These are the first people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask them, what did you do for me? The alim is going to get up, he's going to say, Ya Allah, I sought the knowledge, I learnt, I gained knowledge, I taught others, for your sake. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to say to him, you lied, you have lied. Why do you have lied? He actually did what he said. He actually went out and he sought knowledge. He might have been of those who left his family to go seek knowledge in another country. He might have been of those who made sacrifices to go and seek knowledge. But was he doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Comes back down to the heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to him, you lied, you went and you sought knowledge so that people can call you a sheikh, so that people can call you an alim, a ustaz, right? So because of his intention, he will be dragged into the hellfire. The same with the mujahid. He will be asked, and he will say, I fought in jihad for your cause. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to him, you have lied, you went to fight, so people can say you are brave and you are a courageous man. And the same for the one who is hafiz of the Quran. And these three actions don't underestimate, they are the greatest actions and the most beloved actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So which were the three? The alim,
the mujahid, and the hafiz of the Quran. And I think there's another narration that mentions the one who spent in the way of Allah.
Because alim and hafiz is very close in terms of.
Yes, alim and hafiz, yeah. But hafiz, why? Because hafiz, when he becomes a hafiz, he might become an imam, for example. So he recites. His voice is being heard by the people, so he enjoys this. He likes the people to know that he has a nice voice, nice recitation, right? It's not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the importance of purifying our intention for Allah.
Samosas would be nice, but water would be Sorry, all the morning, but that's here.
I should have offered, sorry.
You didn't bring any of your dish?
My wife fallen sick actually. He's actually fallen sick.
You know the deeds that we do in Ramadan, we should continue them after
I know.
Ramadan.
So I was joking with my wife, right? She fell sick after Ramadan. She's still sick.
Which code?
No.
May Allah cure her
I
and
mean,
give her a speedy recovery. inshallah.
Better today, but the last 2-3 days was I've been doing the laundry and sweeping and all kinds of stuff at home. So.
Yeah, so this is important of the
So she
intention.
asked me, where am I going today? So it's the same badminton group. So she's like, oh, those guys again.
That sounds trouble, man. These 3 guys again, or 4 guys, 5 guys, remember the guys, sounds trouble.
Jazakallah. Okay, so this is the importance of the niyyah. And then the Prophet ﷺ, most people know the beginning of the hadith, right? But the hadith continues to say, فَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ فَهِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. The hadith of the niyyah. The Prophet ﷺ goes on to say that those who make hijrah, who migrate from the land of shirk and kufr to the land of Islam, yani for Allah and His Messenger, then their hijrah is for Allah and His Messenger. وَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ لِلدُّنْيَا يُصِيبُهَا أَوْ امْرَأَةٍ يَنْكِحُهَا فَهِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى مَا هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِ. Then the Prophet ﷺ says, but for those whose hijrah, whose migration was for the dunya, or for a woman to get married to, then his action is for what he intended. And he will be rewarded according to his intention. So what does it mean? Does it mean you cannot travel to another land for work purpose? Does it mean that you cannot travel to another land to get married? No, this is not what the hadith means. The point of the hadith is to show the importance of purifying, clearing out all other reasons for your hijrah. Or the hijrah is the example, right? But for all your actions. So we don't just say, okay, we're doing it for Allah because it's a righteous action, because maybe there's other things in that action or in that niyyah that is also for other than Allah. Maybe the people, maybe you enjoy gathering with the people, maybe you enjoy the people looking at you, maybe there's other benefits, right? There's other maslahah, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet ﷺ is teaching us that we need to purify our hearts and make our action purely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that hadith can be found in Bukhari and Muslim. It's a very authentic hadith. Now that's the niyyah. So now that we've come, alhamdulillah, we've made the niyyah to come to learn the Arabic language. Our niyyah is there. Now we need to maintain the niyyah. Because it's very possible for us to start an action, a good action with a good niyyah, and then down the track, the niyyah changes. Maybe I start the niyyah, I want to, whatever I've learned, I want to pass on to you guys. That's my niyyah. Then slowly down the track, I start to feel like, shaitan and the nafs starts coming in, and I start to feel like I'm a ustaz, I'm a teacher, right? This can creep into the niyyah. This is what we fear from. This is what we try to purify our hearts from and renew. That's why we need to renew our intention along the way. And also the timing. We need to prioritize our time. These classes, and I want to make this point, highlight it from the beginning, that we need to prioritize this learning Arabic. Because Imam Shafi'i says that learning Arabic is wajib, and many ulama, they say that learning the Arabic language, especially if you are a student of knowledge and you want to learn the deen, right? It's wajib for you to learn the Arabic language. What does that mean, wajib? Do you know what wajib means? Wajib means that if you don't do it, you are committing sin. That's the meaning of wajib. So you can see the importance of learning this Arabic language. We shouldn't just take it as another subject we're doing or another thing we're learning. We should acknowledge the importance of it. It is an act of ibadah. When we come here and we purify our niyyah, that we're doing this to get close to Allah, to understand the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are actually performing an act of ibadah and we are being rewarded for it, if our niyyah is clear. So we want to prioritize our time. So whatever we decide for this class to be, 1 or 2 days or 3 days, we want to have a consistent. I know for some of the brothers, maybe yes, if you cannot make it on the weekday, That's why we are recording the class.
Jazakallah.
So for the brothers that cannot make it because of work, and we will record the class. But what I mean is that, for example, Sunday, okay, we can all make it Sunday, inshallah. We need to prioritize that this class comes before everything else. If you have an event, if you have a family, you want to take your family out, you want to go shopping, you want to do something, we should always have this as priority. I'm not saying that you don't do those other things or you neglect other things, no, but work around the Arabic. If you need to do something on a Sunday, try to do it before Arabic or after Arabic class.
This is the first
Okay.
Sunday in many years I didn't sleep in.
You didn't. Oh, you normally sleep in on Sunday. So that's Yasser's challenge. He has to now fight his nafs to not sleeping on Sunday. Okay, not to call. What I don't want is, like, for example, next week, I cannot make it. I slept late last night. I cannot make it. I'm not. Unless it's a very something very important, a necessity. A life and death situation. We want to try and prioritize this Arabic class. Okay.
How long will it?
The class be, the length of the class will be around an hour and a half.
Okay, today, because I need to inform my wife, because later on now she'll be coming over, we're going to a wedding.
Okay.
So I just like to know the time so that she can plan her.
Okay, I think from now maybe an hour.
An hour?
An hour from now should be
So,
okay. Yani
12:30, I said.
12:30 to be safe.
Yeah,
To be
12:30,
safe.
Okay. And next week I will not be around. I'll be in China, so we
Yeah.
can plan. So
Okay,
but
next
you guys-
Sunday.
Next Sunday. But I'll be flying on the 5th. I'll be
Okay.
back on the 11th.
Okay.
So 5th
You
to
don't have
11th I will
flights
not.
Sunday morning?
Sunday is on.
Sorry?
Sunday is on the.
What we can do on
Saturday,
Sunday, we have the
Yeah,
recording.
the recording. Yeah.
So whoever cannot make it because of necessity,
Sure.
we have the recording. But the idea is to prioritize.
Sleeping in is not necessary. right?
Sleeping in is not a necessity. Going shopping is not a necessity.
Yeah.
Right? Even taking the family out, if it can be,
Yeah.
and if it's not something that's very necessary, you have the rest of the day. Once we finish the class,
Yeah.
you have the rest of the day to spend with your family and to do other things.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing now. It's not for me. It's for Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
Yeah, understood.
Okay? Yeah.
Would it be better if we push the class earlier? I'm
I think
okay
I'm
either
okay.
way.
I'm okay.
Yeah?
I don't know about somebody who sleeps on Sundays.
Yeah. 10:30 is okay, right? And for Yassin, he has 10:30 is still decent. It's not too early. I think 10:30 is okay, right?
Yeah.
How much? 10:30.
10:30.
10:30 is just.
Inshallah. Okay. So that's what I want to make clear. The ulama, they say that there's they've given us the rules for everything. Subhanallah, our Sharia, it has the rules for everything. If we follow everything in the Sharia, we'll find all aspects of our life. We'll find comfort and we'll find the easy way of doing things and the efficient way of doing things in everything in our life. The ulama, they give us the way to prioritize. They say the first thing a Muslim needs to do is learn the knowledge, take the knowledge. That's the first thing. It's wajib for every Muslim to learn the ilm. And then to amalu bih, and then to act upon that knowledge. And then ad-da'watu ilay, then to call others to that knowledge. And then as-sabru ala al-adhafi. This is the order of priority, of
What's the last one?
prioritizing.
What's the last one?
So the first one
The
is
last one,
the last one is sabr,
Sabr.
to have patience. So basically, the ulama have with all their knowledge of the Quran and the Sunnah, they have seen that this is the way Allah Subhanahu wa Taala wants us to do things. He wants us to learn first, because people they act not upon knowledge, and when they act not upon knowledge, then they might be doing the action not in accordance to the way the Prophet ﷺ taught us. So we need to learn first. We need to seek the knowledge, take the knowledge. Then we need to act upon that knowledge. Because if we seek the knowledge and we have the knowledge and we call others towards the knowledge but we don't act upon it ourselves, this is looked down upon in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the ayah, Ya ayyuhan nabi, lima tuharrimu ma ahallallahu lak. No, لما تعملون ما لا تفعلون. Why do you say that which you do not do? لما تقولون ما لا تفعلون. Why do you say that which you do not do? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even with all the knowledge and the good lessons and the good niyyah and the getting together with good brothers and learning the Quran and learning the Arabic and the Sunnah, right? What's the first thing we need to learn? What's the first reason we need to learn? Is to act upon it ourselves and implement it in our own life. Then after we've done that, we are encouraged or we are commanded to teach it to others, what we act upon. That could be da'wah, yani da'wah, that's what da'wah is. Da'wah may be in the form of teaching. You don't have to be a teacher. Da'wah could be teaching your family, you know, explaining things to your wife, to your children, right? This is all part of passing on what you have learned and what you practice yourself. And then if you do that correctly, in the correct order, why the ulama have put in this order? Because if you follow this order, then you will find that is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test you. That is when Allah will test you. Because you're doing the things the right way. So the fourth point is as-sabru ala al-adha. Not just sabr. Not just normal sabr is very general. But sabr ala al-adha is being patient upon the calamities or the tests that are going to before you. So when Allah loves His slave, He tests him. He tests him. Why? Because if he's gained the knowledge and he's doing it, implementing the knowledge and he's teaching it to others, there's a sign of true iman there, right? So just to be sure that that iman is true and strong, Allah tests the slave. If he's firm and he's patient during that test, and he stays steadfast on his religion during that test, and he stays obeying Allah and he conforms to the commandments of Allah during that time of calamity and hardship, then that is a sign of a true mu'min. So that is the order of priority. Okay. And that's just a brief introduction, before we start the class. Arabic